Hi, welcome to CGM Lunch Breaks. I'm James Griffin.
I'm Alex Coop.
And today we're playing Beyond Two Souls. As you can see, I'm using a different controller than the DualShock 3. Quantic Dream apparently released an app where you can actually play Beyond on your Android phone. As you can see, if you look closely, there's an X button, a circle button, and a directional pad. And apparently you can play the entire game just like this. Yeah. The question is, why would you want to? Alright, so we're just going to jump right in here.
Yep. I'm pausing the game, and I'm we're playing co-op right now, so I'm controlling Ellen Page, who's playing Jody.
And I'm playing Aiden, the spiritual, supernatural entity who is linked to her. If a lot of you have noticed, a lot of the reviews came out for Beyond earlier this week, and a lot of them were very contradictory of each other. Some said it was great interactive media, but I think the vast majority talked about you weren't thrown into the experience enough, not enough engagement. So it definitely got lower reviews than Heavy Rain, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think most of it had to do with the fact that the WoW factor kind of wore off after Heavy Rain. People were probably expecting something a little bit more, something a little deeper, but I mean, it's. If you're a fan of this type of game, then you're gonna love it, I think. And
yeah. Another interesting thing actually about the way the reviews were released is that Sony, I think, held an embargo until like 11 a.m. the day it came out, which is really strange because when they think a title is going to be strong, they usually take away the embargo about like 2 weeks before it happens. Mm-hmm. So I almost feel like Sony knew this wasn't going to get the kind of reception that a lot of people expected, which was I think. This is one of the games they really bet on a lot. Mm-hmm. Definitely was a big budget, way bigger than Heavy Rain, because you got Willem Dafoe, Ellen Page here.
And I didn't play Heavy Rain, but I watched my friends play it, and I liked it.
Oh yeah.
And that's probably gonna happen with this one. Right now I'm playing it, but I'll probably go to my friend's house and just watch them play it because it's great to watch. It's actually really cool. But personally, I don't like playing these games that much.
I remember Heavy Rain was one of the first games I bought for my PS3, and I was like, okay, it's an interactive movie, am I going to like this? My friend kept telling me, just play it, you're going to love it. Yeah. So I got it, then it had a price drop, it went to like $30, bought it one night, and I was just amazed. I think it's one of those games you really love playing with your friends because then everyone gets into the story. It's like watching a great movie, like Kenny said.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch as much as it is to play.
Yeah.
And you really think about games like this that are really trying in this case, to push the medium forward into a way that's more cinematic, in a way that kind of engages you. When I think of Beyond and the way they talked about how you're not really like in the action a lot, it reminded me of a game that was released a long time ago called Dragon's Lair. Right. It was released for like arcades where it was kind of like an animated sequence and you press like left and you have to press it in time or you die sort of thing. Yeah. And I think of it like that, like where you're sort of playing the game but you're not really. Mm. Whereas I feel like Heavy Rain, I felt very engaged in it because a lot of it was like you're figuring out a mystery sort of thing. And I remember near the end, no spoilers, don't worry, you have to kind of put the pieces together as one of the characters. Right. And whether or not you do that ends with the story. So I thought that was really interesting.
And I think you're controlling.
My apologies. Here we go. Looking around as Aiden. Have no idea how the touchscreen works with this. There's just a few pads and stuff.
Okay, so every time I press triangle, it swaps to you.
Okay, cool. So I can move around, kind of like with a mouse around here, for anyone looking. Another kind of topic this game brings up is this the kind of way games should be going? Is this the sort of direction we want, where you have a more cinematic experience, but you have less engagement? It's less power to the player, more power to, say, the developer or the director, like in this case, David Cage. Mm-hmm. You can tell this is, even right now, I'm very limited as to what I can actually do. Yeah. I'm switching back to you, by the way. Like as cinematic and great as this is, I feel less of a participant. Whereas like yesterday night, I played GTA 5 and literally I was so engaged. It was basically you control everything, you do whatever you want. Oh, you throw it down with like the DualShock, yeah. Boom.
I agree. I mean, you're definitely limited as to what you can do in these games, but it's a change of pace, and it's nice. A lot of people don't actually like playing it, but still really cool to watch. And I think moving forward, these types of games will just have to add a little bit more depth. To evolve, just like every game does. It'll be nice to kind of have that more interactivity, in the game. Have those really intense moments. Those 15 minutes of crazy moments where you can actually control it a bit more, and then it goes back to like the more cinematic, interactive movie style.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just me.
Well, like you said, it's a new genre, right?
Yeah.
And I mean,
literally right now, all I'm doing is just like flicking the analog stick down every once in a while.
Yeah, which like it is awesome. Is like as cinematic and great as it is, and I mean, who doesn't like Ellen Page?
Yeah.
Like my one gripe is, I don't feel as engaged in the experience as I did with Heavy Rain so far. I mean, I'm pressing little buttons. Heck, I don't even know what I'm doing. Supposed to redirect this. It feels almost like a silly like mobile game right now, which ironically I guess it kind of is. But yeah, I've always been like a huge fan of games that try and break the mold. Journey. As anyone who knows me, I literally am an advocate for that game. I think it's genius.
It's a great game.
But
once again, that's another game that I just rather watch, though.
Really, Journey?
Yeah.
What I found with Journey, I played it through, and I know if you haven't actually played it, one of the big things is that it's really open to interpretation. A lot of people take it differently.
Yeah.
For me, I played it, and I had this one person who was a companion with me the whole way through, and then right at the end, I lost them. And to me, it was like the loss of a friendship, the death of a friendship, like a downward spiral. And then I watched a friend play it, and she basically followed this person through the entire game and showed her all the secrets. And for her, it was almost like having a lifelong companion. She felt like a dependency.
Yeah.
So that's what, with games like this, I totally get watching.
Mm-hmm.
I think, but the great thing about Journey, I think that sets itself apart, is that it's a different for everyone sort of thing.
True. Yeah, I did play a bit, and like I do like it more than this, in terms of like being able to play interactive. But I still enjoyed watching someone else play it more, just because of how they reacted to the game.
It's interesting for sure.
Interesting. So
I totally get that.
Yeah, I just really like being able to like have full control, and that's just what a game is to me. And maybe one day these types of games will evolve into something that I'll really enjoy, but.
Just so everyone remembers, like, this is a new genre, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just like as you said, like, this is grassroots stuff. I mean, as much as you guys can as anyone can kind of hate on David Cage and talk about how, oh my God, I'm not even really playing.
Yeah.
This person who's breaking new ground. And you know what? In 10 years, maybe Beyond will be revered in a different way.
Yeah.
But I definitely think, and I think a lot of people agree, this genre has a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm. For sure. It's very cool and very interesting.
And what's really exciting is that like Hollywood actors like Page and Dafoe are getting interested in this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that gets me really excited.
And it looks terrific. I mean, like facial animations, they're spot on. It's really good.
And so far Page's acting is pretty great.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. And the plot's pretty interesting too, the whole supernatural. I remember watching a lot of the trailers, and it really shows kind of Jodie as this oppressed person who like has lost her family, has no friends and stuff, lives in this facility.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah. I think that's when someone is possessed, that's what it's supposed to look like. When Aiden possesses, that's what it looks like the white eyes. Yeah. And I remember, even despite the lukewarm reviews and everything, I remember Shuya Yoshida, who's the worldwide president of Sony, he actually apparently went to visit Cage the day his game was released. And I'm pretty sure Yoshida knew that the reviews weren't going to be that great. And he reinforced to Mr. Cage that he's really excited about his next project. And you know what? Even though this game has its flaws from what I've heard, and I mean, like, there's not as much engagement as I think was in Heavy Rain, it's still a step towards something new, something exciting.
Definitely.
So yeah,
it's super exciting. And
I mean, every year we get a new Mario, every year we get a new Call of Duty, every year we get a new Assassin's Creed, and fun games, sure, but do they really break the mold, change anything? No. And I mean, like, sometimes you gotta take risks, sometimes they pay off. And you know what? Even this one didn't pay off as much as the rest, It still is.
Definitely
Yeah.
did more good than it did bad.
Exactly. No, that's a great way of
Yeah.
saying it.
Alrighty, well now that we got through that door, I think it's time to end our lunch break.
Yeah, we only have enough time. We're interns.
Yeah.
So I'm James Griffin,
I'm Alex Coop.
and we'll see you next week.
See you.